Hello, everyone. My name's Eris. Joining me today for this month's Relay Table, I'm super pleased to have with me here Banana Sam the Mountain Man, Old Man Winter, Periwinkle Pete, and Snuffleupagus' cousin, Snuffleupagarth. Gentlemen, introduce yourselves.
I think I'm the last.
I'm the third one, probably. Periwinkle Pete. That's me, baby. Periwinkle Pete.
Shouldn't you be holding that?
My glass is not a microphone, guys.
Definitely Snuffleupagarth.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's definitely me.
To reiterate, I am Periwinkle Pete, and I'm very pleased to be on this show. Thank you for having me.
Okay. Welcome one and all.
Hey, wait. Vince, you've been on our last two podcasts. What's going on?
I have no idea. There is no explanation for this. Hopefully not a sign of things to come, but we'll see.
Completely unprecedented.
This
is a podcast?
Are we live?
No.
Yeah?
No, don't worry, guys. No stress.
That was a close one.
Nobody
we
is
were just
watching.
Elaborately hanging out.
Yeah. We're hanging out with our friends
There's
from far
no
away.
people on the other end of the camera.
None.
No.
So before we get into the topic today, which is largely going to be focused on Gamescom and 3.0, both of which have to do with Star Citizen, which is the thing that we talk about on this not cast.
Go ahead.
Mr. Commander Llama. Commander Llama. Probably shouldn't include the Mr. there. This is your second time joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on.
It's an honor.
I wouldn't go that far.
That's a bit much.
It is polite.
It is. Last time you were on, you hadn't really followed Star Citizen in what, like a year or two?
I stopped closely following Star Citizen development when the very first public release of the hangar came out.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
God.
Okay, that takes us back.
So what's that?
Actually, I have a hard time
2014?
remembering
Early
what that was
2014?
like.
Sounds about right. 2014. Okay. And you were on last, like, what, 3 weeks ago or something?
It's definitely more than that.
A month?
I hope.
Yeah,
No,
a few months.
that was 2 months ago.
2 months ago. So you were on 2 months ago. Tell me, what's the past 2 months been like for you when it comes to Star Citizen?
Well, this year's been pretty interesting. Mainly because around the verses have been pretty interesting. So I've been a little more involved in following it. I guess I'm following the development because I'm watching that every week because they've been good for the most part. And I've just been talking about it more. And I got invited on a Relay podcast, so I've kind of felt the need to educate myself at least a little bit.
It's a good idea.
Even though I don't
know why I don't.
I don't know why I'm here, but I think why I'm here is because I'm less educated.
Yeah,
and that
actually
gives a different perspective, maybe.
Relative sense.
And you said yes. Well, you didn't say no.
Yeah, you didn't say no.
Yeah. I was just invited over for pizza. And
Look
shit,
at
here we go. Grill me.
Okay. The rest of us, you all know about the rest of us because we're here every week. Even this guy now. So we're just going to move right on into, the actual meat of the show.
We have meat?
I hope so.
The pizza had meat on it.
The pizza did have meat. I didn't actually eat any though because
You're missing out.
phones are going off like mad. Fun.
F-U-N.
I like fun.
F-U-N.
I think we all like fun. My question to each of you and to the people in chat as well. And I think let's start with Shiver. I
had fun once. It was terrible.
Hated it.
What are you hoping for from Star Citizen when it comes to fun? What are like? Do you think it will be fun?
Well,
what do you find?
I want to be scared. I know it's a bit stereotypical of me, but I want to be scared. I want to like take the Starfarer or any other kind of derelict, exploring that in space with dead bodies floating around, possibility of some strange alien creature coming out and just having its way with me, and then suddenly around dinner something bursts out of my chest. That will be, I want that for starters.
Okay, so shiver, fun, alien having its way with him. Got it. Nakara?
If it will run, it will be fun. Basically, I think it's going to be a blast. It just needs to not be 5 frames a second. What I've seen looks really good, but needs to run fast enough so that it's not unplayable.
As I recalled last time I was on this show, I said that was my top priority, and then you said, "No, that's not my top priority."
Well, I changed my mind. Okay?
Absolutely. Glad to have you on the winning team.
Commander? Fun.
Sorry, what was the question? What is fun?
Basically, what is fun and how do you hope to achieve it in Star Citizen? Or how do you hope that it gets achieved?
I find it a pretty interesting question for Star Citizen because there's already 1.8 million backers, all with different definitions of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, some people ain't gonna have fun. Guaranteed there's going to be a section of the population that are like, this isn't the game I wanted at all.
But Star Citizen's kind of trying to get around that by having so many different things to do, right? Which is where a lot of people get scared off and say, like, whoa, it's way too ambitious, right? They're trying to pull off some kind of balance here, but their idea is, you know, we implement a world that is diverse enough and has enough things to do, like, you know, dogfighting or transporting people on a Genesis Starliner or mining or hauling or whatever. Their idea is to have all these things come together, work together in a fun way that, you know, one system doesn't overrule the economy or like renders all the others pointless or something. How does this link into fun? We'll just have to see how well they put everything together. But their idea they have all these diverse backers who, you know, Star Citizen actually has a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds because it tries to aim to cater to such a wide audience. So fun, really, Star Citizen being fun means like every single part of it being fun and working together. So I don't know if it's that some people won't find it fun as much as some parts of it won't be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Do you think they'll
I
be
think
able
everyone will have the things that they enjoy. That's kind of one of the things that's beautiful about the game is that, you know, if you're playing Call of Duty and you don't like playing FPS games, well, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
But in Star Citizen, there's about 75 different ways you could have a good time, I think. As long as the game turns out the way we think it will.
So I guess my short answer, going off what was just said, is I don't actually know, because if there's going to be so many different ways to play, then basically none of them exist yet.
Yeah.
If we're talking like launch Star Citizen, like we have no idea what any of them are going to look like.
One does exist. Finding bugs. If that's your idea of fun, you're in good shape.
So I don't know what I'll find fun. My favorite thing to do in games like this is grow. So my idea of fun is going to be starting with an Aurora and 10 space bucks. Sorry, UEC. And just going on a journey. And I'll just pick one of these 75 things that seems good. And I'll just do that. And just see where it leads me, you know, go on a journey.
And I just going off that a little bit, like I get asked, you know, we all get asked, like, what do we plan on doing when the game starts? We don't know what we're going to find fun. Right? It's the same kind of thing. We don't know what the game is going to have that we find fun. If we find any of it fun, we don't know.
Might be a piece of shit.
It might be a total piece of garbage. We don't know.
That would be unfortunate.
That would really, I hope that isn't the case. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, we backed hoping that it would be a good game, but we also backed so that it would have the chance of being made and have the chance of being
yeah.
fun. And if somehow it doesn't meet that promise, it's going to be disappointing. But I mean,
I think
It
in
was a
some
good
ways it's
ride
already
either
achieved
way.
its goal.
Eris, there's a vein in your forehead. It's popping out whenever we talk about the game crashing and burning.
I think that even if it's not good, it's already more or less achieved its goal, because the goal was to bring space games back to computer, and
That's pretty true.
I mean
That's happening,
it's
yeah.
happening.
Yes. Yep.
It's also
point.
shown that the PC market, just the PC market, is a totally viable market to
Yeah.
tap still to this day. It's not dead. Give us
can make
a
it-
PC game.
You can make
will have it.
$156 million without even releasing.
Imagine that. Yeah.
Well, you don't have to release games anymore.
Early access all the way.
Good point.
Card
Actually,
games are where it's at.
You just release ideas.
release it in early
You look at,
access. People will
you look at-
jump into it right when you release it in early access, play the ever living shit out of it, and then before you have a chance to release, they'll have all forgotten about it, moved on to something else, and you can just disband and make something new.
Yeah. So in the end, you only just made a game that had a lot of bugs in it, but people still paid $30 for. It's not a bad way, you know?
Yeah.
That works.
Yep.
wow.
Apparently there's an echo. Shouldn't be. But
Echo?
echo.
Echo.
Hello. Like a great example of that is the very popular one we've seen recently. PUBG has
Yeah.
now sold over 7 million copies.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. I have the echo? Why do I have the echo?
Maybe just his voice carrying a lot.
We don't hear it on our end, it seems.
Let me-
Just a
Through the
moment.
mic.
Let me give it a listen. You guys go ahead.
Anyway, let's move on to the next segment, probably one of the longer ones.
They are standing in a culvert.
Let's
Oh,
talk.
I think I know what the problem might be. Just a moment.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
We'll figure out what the echo is.
You guys can go ahead.
It's hard to get headsets for a whole bunch of people, but anyway. Let's talk releases and the actual idea that at some point 3.0, Star Citizen itself, Squadron 42, all of these things will at some point release, we're assuming. When it comes to 3.0 and Squadron 42, has it taken them too long to release it? Have we gone too long without a release in the case of 3.0? And have we gone too long without an update on Squadron 42? Commander?
My God, you're asking me first?
Yeah. I can move to Shiver first if you want.
Yeah, sure. Give them a shot.
Sure.
Although they're echoey,
It's
so maybe
a long
I should
answer, I think, for me. I don't know if that makes a difference.
Do it up, Shiver. Go.
Yes and no. Basically, yeah, it's been a hell of a long time without something new to play, without some news about Squadron 42. I mean, like in the Wingman's Hangars Day, whatever, we would get, these tidbits of what is going to happen in Squadron, like the spider mining drone and things like that. And now we don't get that at all. It's like, okay, I can live with that. And yeah, it's been nearly, I think it's been nearly a year without something new in the alpha persistent universe. So it is fair enough for someone to go around and say, I'm bored, that's fine. But there's a line that we all have to remember. If we paid in for a Chris Roberts game, we are here not for some just churned out as quick as it can, blob together and whatever. We're here for something to take its time. I mean, there are people that have played Wing Commander, Starlancer, Freelancer, and it's like, well, what would it have been like if this had been, given a bit more time, what would it have been like if it realized Chris's vision? And that is Star Citizen. That is, personally, that was one of the biggest selling points for me, is paying in for a true Chris Roberts game, a true Chris Roberts experience where he has total control over it. That's my opinion.
Nakara?
I think all is forgiven if it's good on both counts. That seems to be the way it always works. You can delay something as much as you want. If it's good, it'll all be forgiven. It's look at Zelda Breath of the Wild. Does anybody care that it was delayed by years? No. Doesn't matter. It's an amazing game.
I mean, people cared a lot when it was delayed, and when it wasn't there, we cared. Like, you and I both.
It's like people care right
Wii
now about the fact that Star Citizen 3.0 isn't, or Alpha 3.0 isn't out. But if it's amazing, I don't think people really care that much anymore.
I mean, you and I both bought Wii U's with the assumption that it would be launching like that year for the Wii U, right?
And then it was 2 years later.
Yeah. But it was also fantastic.
That's the thing, and it sold gajillions of copies, and it's one of the better games ever made, and it's amazing, and all this stuff. So I really think that as long as they can execute and make it good, it doesn't really matter how long it takes them. If this is the same thing for Squadron, Squadron's release. It's the same thing for Star Citizen's release. If it takes them until 2027 to get it out the door, but it's the best game anyone's ever made, then it won't even matter then. So,
what do you think, Commander?
I definitely agree about the point where gamers are fickle, and all will be instantly forgiven if we're given gold.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, the question again is a little confusing because like, what's the alternative? Like, were they supposed to just go faster?
Maybe not go faster, but I mean,
Chris likes to push more features into patches, which we've seen in 3.0.
Yeah, and I guess the only way to go faster would have been scope reduction, not scope neutral or increase, I guess, in the case of the procedural planets.
Yeah. When it comes to something like Squadron 42, which, as far as we know, one of the things that delayed it, one of them was subsumption, which not much they can do about that. That takes till it's done. But should they have delayed it to add procedural planets to it?
Yeah, I don't know. They probably could have just kept procedural cooking, couldn't they have?
I don't know. Nakara, what do you think? Like, we don't know anything. We haven't known anything for a long time about Squadron. Are we getting to the point where, like, it's been such a long time that Squadron doesn't matter as much anymore? Like, the cast announcement was what, like 2-3 years ago? Like, we haven't heard anything for such a long time.
It was less than 2 years ago, but
that's probably for hype.
I still think it's the same thing. I think that all of it is forgiven, and it won't matter at all if it's good. It won't matter a damn bit. That's
fuck.
What's wrong?
Got to do the
Flint
wave.
Dragon subscribed.
No!
Oh, good.
Thank you, Flint.
It's wave time.
Is that bad?
Yeah, it means I have to do this. If I can do it with the mics in the way.
Oh no, oh god, make it stop.
Okay.
Yeah, right there, Vince.
Thank you for the subscribe, Flint Dragon.
Don't do it again.
Yeah, I mean, I really think that as long as Squadron is good, it doesn't matter. Now, if it sucks, it'll matter more than everything because people will be like, "Well, so you waited years to give this to us, and it's garbage."
What if it's just
great.
average? What if people go, yeah,
That's also
all
bad.
right.
Well, it depends on the games are rarely average. It just means that there's some people who hate it and some people who love it.
True, yeah. I mean, look at No
least
Man's
that's my
Sky.
feeling anyway.
I mean, average would be it's not a train wreck. Tons of people would check it out, but then the bounce off rate would be like, you know,
Huge.
really fast. And you'd
Um,
be down to your like 2% core player base.
So on that idea of Squadron 42 somehow not meeting up to, meeting up to a standard, do you think that if it doesn't meet up to a standard, things are going to go downhill really quickly for CIG for Star Citizen? Or do you think they'd be able to overcome Squadron being bad?
I think they'd be fine. Who are you asking? That's a good question.
Commander.
As I understand it, they have enough money to take a couple hits. So it would probably be bad for morale. But they could just keep trucking on. They've got at least a couple iterations, I would assume.
6Fs, what do you think?
I was just like totally zoned out. I just sat back down. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
so what do you think?
Think about what?
Tell us about the thing we were
Yeah.
talking about.
That one thing you were talking about.
Everything we've been
My
talking about for
opinion-
the past 10 minutes.
My
What is
opinion,
your opinion?
I assure you, whatever my opinion is, it's extremely strong and in favor of Star Citizen being successful.
Okay, now, I mean, yeah, that's
It's
pretty
difficult to swallow, I know. It's controversial maybe,
good.
but
I
very
honestly
firm in
can't
that
believe
belief.
that's the belief that you espouse on.
this topic that you are discussing
Yeah,
at this present moment.
I'm disgusted.
Yeah.
Um,
Help me out here, please.
yeah, no. Let's say Squadron 42 somehow is bad or doesn't live up to the hype, is average, mediocre. Like it turns out it's like a Call of Duty game. It's all right. Does that hurt Star Citizen and does that hurt CIG going forward?
CG going forward, yeah, probably. That's a lot of money, a lot of drama, a lot of noise about a game that wasn't a big deal. So yeah, I don't know what SIG would do if. I mean, the thing is, well, no, Squadron 42. Once it's out, it's out.
Yeah.
Star Citizen is, they're working on it continuously or whatever. It's like even if it's kind of crappy on launch, like, final version 1.1 could be a big improvement or something. But yeah, Squadron 42 is not that good. Well, I'd be surprised, honestly, if it wasn't good. I mean, I'd be more surprised if it released not very good than if it just never released at all. If they just pushed it back
I actually
indefinitely.
agree entirely with that.
Yeah,
But I don't.
They could do that though, right? Wouldn't they? Do they have like a test population for Squadron 42, or hypothetically, will they?
we don't really know if they're going to use a test population for Squadron. They've
Sounds like-
said
It sounds like the answer to that's going to be no.
They're just
but
going to drop
we're not
it.
sure.
we don't know. They've, as far as we know, the things that they've always told us is that no, they're not going to do a test case for Squadron. It's going to be tested internally and then released because they want everyone to be surprised. You can't stop people from leaking if they're outside. Look at the Avocados. The Avocados are a lovely group of people that do amazing, amazing work that's really, really important. It's a huge help for the Star Citizen community, but shit leaks every single time. Like, you don't get an Avocado release without something leaking as well. So I don't think CIG are going to want anything from Squadron to leak. I don't think Chris wants anything from
It's
Squadron
very
to
important.
leak.
Star Citizen's kind of whatever if it leaks, but
I think-
Squadron would be.
I think we may have deduced the answer then. If you're talking about them trying to keep it internal, that's why you haven't heard about Squadron 42. They're probably going to drop it on us
Yeah.
as a surprise.
for sure.
And
When?
definitely.
I don't know.
I really want them to Fallout 4 it.
Yeah.
Just say like, yo,
or
it's
they're
coming
just
out.
like, yeah, it's out in 2 months.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'd like that. I would like that.
I hope that that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you look at something like the Idris has been done for a while now, as far as we know. And there's a lot of people that own the Idris, and there's a lot of people that want the Idris and want to fly it, but CIG have held it back basically on the thing of, no, we don't want you to see what this is actually like inside. We want your first look at it to be Squadron.
Mhm.
Some delivering newspapers.
Can we kill him?
I was hoping it would be
Let's
another
not.
pizza.
I'd like another pizza.
There's still like half a pizza.
Yeah, but one and a half
I guess
pizzas
it's
is
more
more
Another
than half
pizza
a
is
pizza.
amazing.
True.
Can I pipe up here? Not that I haven't already been.
Do it.
Of course.
I think that if Squadron was, it depends how bad it was. If it was horrifically awful, I think it would be a big hit in terms of PR, and it would probably slow things down a bit. I actually am having difficulty foreseeing a scenario where Squadron is bad and that stops Star Citizen from being made. I don't really think that would happen. I think basically they would just take the lessons learned from the screw ups they had and then use them to make the other games better. Because keep in mind, there are 3 squadrons.
Right.
3 Squadron 42 games.
There's
so.
4 games now.
Yeah, kind of.
There always have been.
Always.
Or there have been for, maybe not always. For a very, very, very long time, it's been clear that it's been
Well, since
a Star Citizen plus a trilogy.
since
of,
whatever goal that was in the Kickstarter, that was like, for an extra $1 million, we will, we plan an expansion.
Yep.
Behind enemy lines.
Behind enemy lines, yes. That is now Squadron 42 2.
Yep.
I hope they don't call it that. That'd be hilarious. Squadron 42 2.
Well, no,
Ballerina
they're
in space.
going to end up calling it Squadron 43 and then Squadron 44, and then Star Citizen is going to start in 2950, 2949, 2950, and it's like, because that's what Chris has always said, it's you do your military service and then you've been out of the military for a bit, and that's where Star Citizen starts you.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just going to do it.
Yeah, but we have not seen anything about the story of Star Citizen in like
True.
4 years.
True. That is a good point.
I mean, they do have like the whole lore makers. Guys,
Yeah.
This is true. Yes.
It's not really.
No.
It's not current events. It's mostly past stuff.
Yeah. What do you think, Shiver?
Mostly agree with what Eric said, though I think it would be a bit of a heavier blow to CIG if Squadron was, deemed a failure. I don't think it would necessarily finish the project off, but I think a lot of people would be shaken, not stirred, because although combat is not the big thing in Star Citizen, it is the big thing in Squadron. And if you've messed up combat, which is so essential to something, it would certainly make me, as someone who's interested mostly in combat, hesitant or I wouldn't say lose faith, but I would be a bit, well, this needs to change, or that something would need to happen. I don't think it would necessarily finish off a project, but yeah, it would be quite a blow.
I mean, if Hello Games can actually, from the rumors I've heard, make No Man's Sky not quite as horrible, I think anything can happen.
So,
I'm actually amazed they held on and even actually tried to fix it.
It is pretty admirable. Yeah.
Commander, you are probably the most neutral person here. Based on your knowledge of the general feeling that other people have, like other gamers and such have about Star Citizen, if Squadron 42 were bad, do you think that CIG could still get people to buy Star Citizen, or would they basically be stuck with, these are the people that have bought it, that's all we like? Do you think they'd still be able to get new people into it?
You mean just very general gamers?
Yeah.
Well, firstly, I don't speak for them. I'm just a dude. But if you want me to guess,
Yes.
A gamer following principles for getting games or playing games is pretty rare, in my opinion. So if Star Citizen was awesome, then people would be on board. It doesn't matter what past stuff happened.
Well, someone in chat mentioned, I forget the name, sorry, but that because Star Citizen and Squadron 42 have so many common features, pretty much the whole thing is in common, aside from like the story and cinematic stuff. Odds are that if one of them's bad, the other's going to be bad too. Right?
Well, the thing is, Squadron's probably coming out a ways before Star Citizen, so they would probably delay it and fix it.
Yeah.
That's most likely what would happen. The biggest thing around this, though, that I have trouble wrapping my head around is I have, from everything we've heard, Chris is very, very heavily invested in this game.
Oh yeah.
In Squadron. I have a very hard time believing they would even release it. They don't need the money. I think they'll wait until it's good.
I mean, it can't be that close to release because didn't they mention that Squadron 42 is using that rendering tech?
Render to texture.
So if they're still going through the whole game with that stuff, then they're not close to done yet.
Yeah.
Well, that stuff's not really super. Like you can
Tack it on.
You can do all the acting, you can do all the missions, it can all come in at the end. That stuff's just UI.
Yeah.
But I really have no idea. Honestly, you may very well be right. I don't know. Squadron could come out in 9 years. I have no idea at this point where it's at.
Well, at least my kids will be able to enjoy
it. That's one of the biggest.
As
honestly,
the meme goes.
if you're asking what the sore spots are for the Star Citizen community right now, if you ask long enough, you'll get to that one, and it'd be a real sore one. Is that we don't know anything about where Squadron is right now.
Yeah.
We last saw it in action in the end of 2015. And it's like, well, okay. That was a long ass time ago.
Yeah. But I mean, that's kind of part of the question that we're still on is, has it been too long since they've shown us something?
Has it been too long? Absolutely. Will it matter if it's good? No.
No. Yeah, like too long for what? Like
too long for us? Too long for
no, but I mean like too long for us to ever care about it again? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're gonna care about it when we see it. We're not caring about it right now.
I didn't care at all about Zelda for a couple of years because I was like, where the hell did it go?
Mm-hmm.
Like, where is it? And then it came out and it's amazing.
It was kind of not disappointing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay.
It was.
It's similar to Fallout. Even Fallout 4, which a lot of people have mixed feelings about, but I actually really like that game. Not as much as Fallout 3, which is actually my favorite game, I think. But even that one, like, for years, I'm like, they got to be making it. They got to be making it. Where the hell is it? What the hell is it? And then I would just forget about it forever. And then they were like, hey, it's coming out. And I would, like, just hype explosion.
I think that's probably what they're going for at the moment, is the out of sight, out of mind thing. Because, I mean, it's no good teasing me with this really nice bit of gameplay or excerpt from Squadron unless you're going to deliver. Like, I'm not going to put that into a metaphor, but I can't stand it if they're going to just feel like, oh, look, here's a little bit of Squadron. And it's like, so what, like,
you don't want
3,
them to tease
4
you.
years,
Is that it, Shiver?
You bastards, don't do that. 6 months, a year. Okay, now I'm interested. But yeah, follow through if you're going to tease me. Otherwise, it's not teasing.
It's just cool.
Okay, so Nakar, I've got a question about one of the things that you said a little bit earlier. Whereas even if somehow Squadron 42 does horribly, they've got enough money to finish Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
How? In what fashion?
Why do you say that they have enough, and what makes you think that they've got enough to finish Star Citizen?
They have $156 million. Now, the thing that, and this is something that I think people need to get, is that when most people go to make a game, they don't have $150 million in the bank. They go and they borrow it from the bank. They borrow a bunch of money and they start making a game. Star Citizen starting off on the other side, they have a lot of money. and they're spending the money they have. But they still have that option available to them. The whole going into debt thing is not a big deal for a business. It happens all the time. Tesla just basically sold $1.8 billion in debt so that they could make the Model 3 faster. Companies utilize debt as a tool. In this particular case, what I mean is that there would be so much work done by that point, and they have so many assets that they could just go to the bank and go, okay, maybe we've run out of money, but can we get a loan for $20 million to finish this game? And then we'll make $500 million and we'll pay you back. There is almost no conceivable way they would actually run out of money, like really run out of money, because they have the business built up so they can borrow against the game that they've been building. I don't know. That's my thought. It would be something completely unforeseen if they actually couldn't finish it because they ran out of money. By the way, if you ever want to see what a company looks like that did look like they ran out of money, that's what I saw with Elite Dangerous. They crowdfunded like $2.5 million and then never crowdfunded or didn't really have any much crowdfunding after that. And at the end, it just looked like they were like, well, this is as good as we can make it, and we have no more money left, so we'll release it. Yeah. Anyway,
credit the game.
My very
terrible failure,
long and
but-
rambling response.
I dig it.
Yeah, I mean, Elite Dangerous still did pretty well considering like they were able, like once they released, they were able to, some people did actually buy it because there was an actual product.
Yeah.
Right. Because most people, Star Citizen has had an incredible run with crowdfunding and all that, but the bulk of the money still comes from when the game is actually properly out. I mean, the game, Star Citizen's debatably out in the form of Alpha 2.6.3.
No.
I'd hesitate to recommend it, but honestly, like I have some friends who aren't super into the game, but they still have a lot of fun playing it. It's, we say, the game doesn't perform that well right now and stuff, but it's actually not that bad.
And some
it
people
can
don't
actually be
notice
fun.
that thing. Like
Some people aren't as sensitive to it as we are. Yeah. I'm jealous.
I could actually, I know some people won't believe me on this, but I actually think that, it would piss off the community to no end. But I think that they could polish the crap out of 3.0 and release that as a complete game, and a lot of people would buy it.
Oh, yeah.
Because they'd be like, oh my God, look at this amazing, go from space to ground, and there's these things you can explore, and it's huge, and they would have no idea that it was supposed to be 1,000 times that big.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, even one system in Star Citizen is
Unimaginably large.
Quite, yeah. Well, it's about the content, but
Yeah.
each system is supposed to have quite a bit. So.
Mostly empty space, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but in terms of content, you have like the planets and the landing zones and all that stuff. Just talking about stuff to do, each system is going to have a decent amount. You could arguably spend like several days, not like, play like for a few weeks or something in just one system. That's the idea.
Or, as some people have planned, you could just be a farmer on a planet.
Space game? What's space? Never even heard of it.
part of me wants to
Come from them sky chariots, you does.
well, one of the characters I want to play is someone who does not pilot ships ever. He just hires out to shoot things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, there's quite a few people who want to do that. Actually, just want to be the soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't really like flying. I'm not really good at it, but I can shoot things pretty decently.
Oh, even that, you've then got your specializations of do you choose to be a sort of merc group that infiltrates a ship? Do you want to be specializing in ground combat? Do you want to try go for as much as you can? It's even that's got its own pool of resources within it.
Oh yeah, like you could even be you could really develop your own thing there. Like you could be someone who protects merchants by manning their turrets or just protecting them if they get boarded. Or you could actually like join an org and fight on the front lines of the Vandal War, whatever. There's lots of things you could do.
You could even like be first person espionage, first person assassin, I'd imagine as well. And that's kind of cool to think, I could just pretend to be something, and then, oh yes, by the way, I was hired to kill you. Very much like Eve, and I think that's the only game where that sort of behavior is accounted for and almost to a point encouraged. You know, it makes space, it makes the game interesting and dangerous.
Well, I could totally foresee an assassin just like taking transports to, or like, oh, I know my target is on this space station, and just taking transports to get there, and like stalking their prey around the station until they kill them.
What do you think, Llama?
Never have to fight.
which
Never
part?
have to fly if you didn't want to.
All of it. Like, is that something you see being viable? Do you think you'd be able to spend an entire career in one system?
I mean, to some extent, the activities you can do in one system versus another are just going to be the same activities.
Sort of. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have UEE controlled systems, and
So, like,
Vandal
obviously, there's
and
probably
Banu
there's
and
gonna be
Xi'an
like
systems.
high security, like safe areas and not safe areas, and there's gonna be some variation, but
It really depends on what gameplay is available.
yeah,
Period.
I
Right?
mean,
And how much variation there is, like how many different landing zones. Because I mean, we kind of know how many landing zones there are in the Stanton system, but in a sense, we also kind of don't. Right? Like we don't know.
We also don't
Yeah.
really know how they're doing landing zones 100% anymore.
Yeah, because like at least like for the flybys they've done of Levski,
Yeah.
on Delamar, which is in the Nix system, but they're putting in for the pupil to planet video, they start like if you pay really close attention. I mean, it is still a very impressive video, but if you pay close attention, they start right up to the guy's eye and they move out, and you just kind of see a bunch of rocks surrounding the landing zone.
Yeah.
And then beyond that is just a bunch of hills and rocks and stuff. But like the actual detailed area of the Levski landing zone is very distinct.
Yeah.
Are they just going to have little pockets of human created places like that, and just the rest of the planet's going to be relatively desolate and boring? Or are they going to have a lot more things like that, or like minor landing zones and lots of interesting outposts and not just procedural stuff? We'll just have to see.
Yep.
well, didn't they say they were trying to beef up how much like stuff there is on planets because it was too barren?
Certainly. And like
'Cause
they're
that's
using
the obvious problem with procedural stuff.
Yeah, there's not.
They
there's no
decided
human-
like 2 or 3 weeks ago to double the number of outposts in 3.0.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just hope the outposts themselves are actually, interesting and have stuff to do on them. But I mean,
It's one of my biggest questions too.
yeah, but they seem to understand the importance of having human created content. What is so funny
That?
that my sincerest condolences.
I'm sorry, Rudy.
Oh my, that's an awful mess to deal with.
Sorry.
That's rough. I'm sorry.
You should get off the computer.
You should get off the
you
computer.
should probably go.
You should do
probably
something.
go fix that.
It is your
For anyone
It is your
listening to this
duty,
on
so to
audio,
speak.
The message that we are talking about is red alert, the baby pooped on the 2-year-old. I don't know how this happened, but the toddler will not stop crying now. Please help. So I've typed ! Question mark in chat. We're going to move on to some of the other topics we have because we've only got, an hour and 15 minutes left. So we might run out of time before we hit questions. But send us some questions anyway, because we'll
probably get to them.
we'll
consider
try
it.
to. And if we don't get to them today, you can come back and rejoin us on Saturday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, where we'll answer them during the relay station. So let's talk some Gamescom. As we all know, Gamescom is just over a week away. It's hard to say if Gamescom is the most important presentation for CIG in a year because there are only 3 presentations. So they're all pretty damn important.
And they're all in the same like quarter. They're like
They're
4
all in the
months
same 2 months.
Is it? Well, it's actually 4 months.
4
There's
months, yeah.
3. It's
August to
boom,
December.
boom, boom.
Yeah, okay. But like they're all pretty close together.
Mhm.
I'm going to start with Commander Llama, what can CIG show to both current backers and potential backers that will actually impress?
I think, well, there's probably one of two options. Either they've been secretly cooking Squadron 42 for over a year. I don't know.
It's not really a secret. One hopes they've been working on it.
Well, we've seen tiny little snippets.
Hope they've
I
been doing
think.
something. I don't know.
So I think either they'll drop that bomb or way more bigger, flashier Alpha 3.0, like kind of a trailer, or just showing a lot more to it than just little snippets that you get in around the verse, or something a lot more diverse than what you saw last year. Either one would cause the hype explosion they probably want.
Yeah.
Success?
Yeah, I'd say either one of those. It has to be one of the two, obviously. I mean, they can show more of what they're doing in CryEngine like they did at the end of CitizenCon. I actually kind of like that. I know they kind of put it together at the last minute, but I actually did like when they went around in CryEngine and showed how easy it is to create content and how their tools facilitate yada, yada, yada. But yeah, either Squadron 42 or 3.0. I'm not expecting Squadron 42 only because it's been so long that like it almost doesn't. It's dead to me. It's dead to me. But I mean, there will be a time, and it could very well be next Friday when they show Squadron 42 finally, and yeah, that'll get the hype trains rolling for everyone, backers and non-backers. That'll, yeah,
Shiver?
that'll be big.
I'd like to see new character animation set of a toddler being pooped on violently. I think that would make it up.
Nakara, how about you?
I have some thoughts. I think that
Just waiting for
I think they might show some stuff that's beyond 3.0. I would love to see like a prototype of mining, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, it was confirmed for us recently that they have been doing quite a bit of work beyond 3.0. They actually updated the global schedule last week, I think it was, and they have ticked off a whole bunch of things that are now complete that aren't even in 3.0. They're later patches.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to see some of that stuff. I'm about 70% sure we'll see something about Squadron. I'm still suspecting that the big Squadron reveal, if there is one this year, will be at CitizenCon. What I expect to see is things like procedural cities, which I know they've been working on. I would love to see ArtCorp in the actual map, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
We know they're working on that. I'd love to see Hurston. I'd love to see Microtech. I want to see procedural cities. So it's sort of ArtCorp, but I would love to see what they're doing for procedural cities because that's going to be an interesting hurdle. And the other one is I would love to see like jungles or something else in the vein of the procedural planets. We haven't really seen that really dense foliage type environment. So
biomes, different
yes.
biomes on the same planet, dynamic weather. I want to see that for sure.
Dynamic weather.
It's
biomes,
tiny,
yeah.
little, stupid cosmetic effect, but I want to see that.
And cosmic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's really hard for me because I know they'll surprise us with something. They always do. There's always something that we're like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
Even CitizenCon, we were pretty wowed.
Yep.
Like,
I mean, yeah, CitizenCon was awesome up until they were like, yeah, we don't have Squadron.
yeah.
I guess if we're going for wish lists, the number one thing I'd like to see is probably a capital ship in action. And like some serious multi-crew stuff in action.
It's not cap ship isn't outside the realm of possibility. Idris could happen, right? Like
I'd like to see,
It
like
could happen.
Llama says, I'd like to see something showing that the networking is getting a bit better. I'd like to see it running at a better frame rate, doing multi-crew in like it. If all they're going to show is 3.0, then it needs to look really damn good. If they're going to show us something more, I mean, if you think to the holiday live stream, I think it was, and I mean, I'm pretty sure it was a filler that they probably threw in there that day, but the Vanduul Driller, seeing that was pretty cool. Like, it'd be nice of them to show us, and we know that they've done a lot of work this year actually on the other alien races. Maybe they could show us something about them, because those are for Star Citizen, not Squadron 42, right? So maybe show us a featurette on some of the alien races that are going to be in Star Citizen, you know, something. My question, though, then kind of becomes, I mean, we're all saying that at Gamescom, they probably need to show either 3.0 looking great or Squadron, right? Now,
Yeah.
Squadron, they might not show at Gamescom because that might be more something that they'd save for CitizenCon, like Nakara said. Is that wise if they do that?
I actually don't think they're going to show nothing of Squadron at Gamescom. I think they'll show something that just might not be like, here's some of the gameplay and here's a release date and we're almost done, and you know, that kind of thing. I think they might be like, here's a pre-rendered cinematic that we made, or not pre-rendered because they don't do that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Here's a cinematic from the game that's really cool and it's completely not going to wreck the story, so here you go. Like they could even do like an updated Bishop version of the Bishop speech, because the tech has come so far since then. You know, or even an updated Morrow tour, something like that. Anyway, I would be surprised to see nothing from Squadron. I do expect to see Squadron at CitizenCon regardless, though.
Anyone else?
Squadron CitizenCon sounds right to me. Yeah.
Right.
But Gamescom, yeah, 3.0. And it better be good. I hope it's good.
Now,
I could see them maybe for Gamescom showing off a completed procedural planet that's, you know, at some point in Squadron, you visit this planet and, you know, it's at least in a state that's complete enough for them to just show it off completely in engine. I could see that, something like that happening.
The follow-on question that I have for everyone is, if we look at Gamescom, one of the reasons that they've always said that they have, like, they don't do other stuff is other times in the year they're focused more on building the game. And we know that CitizenCon basically has to happen when it happens because it's the anniversary of the Kickstarter and all that. And they really like Gamescom because to them, Gamescom is their way of showing the game to the world more than they can at CitizenCon. CitizenCon is in general for citizens. Gamescom is where they have press demos and like it's a lot more press oriented and more for the rest of the world. Because it's more for the rest of the world, and we have seen, the backers have seen snippets of 3.0, you know, all throughout the year. We know the changes and stuff. Do they even need to show anything for us, or should they bear full down saying, here's what you can do now in Star Citizen in 3.0? It's in PTU right now, but it's going to be launching, you know, in 2 weeks time, and everyone can play it when it launches as like, do they need to impress the backers, or should they try and
I actually think both things will happen. I think that's what the press will get. That's what the press demo will be. It'll be like, hey, look, this is 3.0. And but the press demo and the actual backers event, like there's a dedicated event just for backers.
Yeah.
So I mean, it would be pretty silly to show them only 3.0. Be like, well, just watch ATV.
Yeah.
I do think that a good portion of the press demo though will be, I haven't seen you guys in a long time. What have you been up to? This is what we've been up to. You can now run around on planets and drive vehicles and visit outposts and, you know, so on and so forth. And Levski's in the game, and probably will show off Miles Eckhart, because if it's working properly, it'll probably be pretty cool. That stuff. But
Llama?
I do think that the stuff for us, it would be kind of lame if it was like, hey, look, here's 3.0. It'd be like, well, yeah, we've been seeing it for 3 or 4 months.
I mean, if I was betting, I would say Gamescom's going to be Alpha 3.0. But I don't know. It's just a guess.
But what of Alpha 3.0?
I mean, just because we see little snippets in around the verse doesn't mean they couldn't still show, much deeper. Damn it. Just because they've been showing snippets in around the verse doesn't mean that they couldn't show something larger or much more connected that would impress everyone.
Shiver?
They don't have to please the backers, but if they don't please the backers, they'll probably hear about it pretty damn quick, because just 3.0 on its own, I don't think it's going to be enough to cut it. I think everyone here will be like, oh, okay, great, cool. Got anything new? Because otherwise, going to go watch another stream.
I don't know. I don't feel like I've seen 3.0 though. I've seen a piece of this technology, piece of this technology, piece of this technology, but I haven't just watched it being played, actually played, like exploring everything there is to do in it, like from spawning to getting your ship to getting in an actual fight at more than 20 FPS, losing your ship, getting your ship back through insurance. I don't feel like I've seen 3.0. So I think we might be more impressed than we think we will. If we
Wait a
were
minute,
to
didn't
see,
we see 3.0 last year?
Kinda, yeah.
well, that's what I'm saying, kinda, but no.
We haven't seen it through all of the
But more
updates.
again and working.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, what I'd really like to see, if we're talking about what we'd like to see at Gamescom, what I think they need to show off is, a trader loading up on cargo, hopping in their ship, flying out with 1 or 2 guards, then pirates attacking, shooting, like destroying the trading ship. It crashes on a planet, and then a reclaimer comes along and salvages it.
That's an example of what I mean by we've seen a bunch of distinct slices of things, but they could pretty much make a movie, kind of like what they did last year, with all the new stuff, all the upgraded stuff, and probably even some stuff we haven't seen that would just knock all our socks off all over again. And they should not announce a date.
No.
Under no circumstances.
Under pain of death, do not, please.
Oh, Chris will absolutely do it. He'll be like, I'll be out in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And people
What if they say,
like crazy.
what if they say the reclaimer's nearly done and here's what we've got in progress? Do you think that would be enough for everyone to see? Because that's a heck of a lot of ship. It's not quite a capital ship, but that's a lot of ship to see.
It's almost as big as an Idris.
It's huge.
Would that matter if most people don't own one?
Yeah, fair enough. People
But it's
still
still a
like
cool
it.
ship to see.
It is.
I actually, what Matt was talking about, I actually do expect to see that. I do expect him to have some sort of demo of 3.0 showing the full range of gameplay and everything. I do also expect it to be something else. They never have like a one thing presentation. It's always, what about this? And what about this? And this is here too. And this is a new ship. And, oh, I just thought of that. I wonder if the Origin 600 is what we're going to see at Gamescom.
Oh, yeah. It's time. Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be
so.
at least one concept ship, right? We know that.
Yeah. That's.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're always guaranteed a new JPEG.
Yeah. The JPEGs are easy. CIG can do the JPEGs,
They've
no problem.
mastered it. Oh, yeah.
They've mastered the JPEGs.
Yeah.
So the next question then, because we've talked a fair bit about Gamescom now, let's talk CitizenCon. Because that's 2 months away. And then the holiday stream after that. What are your thoughts about basically the same
holiday
thing?
stream does not exist to me anymore.
The what stream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the best stream ever.
No, it was
Actually,
not.
no. You know what? Hang
It
on.
was.
Let's go back to Gamescom for a second for one more question on Gamescom, and then we'll talk about CitizenCon a bit.
Let's be a second.
All right. Do we wait?
Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna go.
Okay.
The holiday stream was. It was like if there was a dumpster the size of New York City and you lit it on fire and then stood in the center of it, dying slowly.
Very slowly.
Very slowly.
Like too slowly.
Yeah. Like,
this
and
is
I mean,
taking
it's
too long.
It's
Yeah,
like New York has been rained on for a month and then lit on fire as a giant dumpster. So the flames are it takes them a while to get going, and you're sitting there in the smell, and then slowly start, inhaling the smoke and slowly get burnt alive. That's what the holiday live stream last year.
last year was.
So
yes.
2017 then was a good time to start paying attention.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like January 1st,
Well,
2017.
the funny thing
pretty
is,
much.
everything else last year was more or less fine, except for the slight disappointment with Squadron not being shown at CitizenCon. And then the holiday live stream was just a total disaster, and everyone was like, "What was that?" It looked like it was made by a 4-year-old, just with like finger paints and just.
It was very tone deaf. Anyway.
Yeah. So the question I have, sorry,
5 minutes later. yeah.
5 minutes later, after describing New York City on fire with the rats trying to climb over you to escape the fire that was the holiday live stream, something wrong?
It's all good.
I think my description is fairly apt, to be honest.
Sure, it's maybe a little labored, but go on.
Sounds like a division.
Where are you
expansion.
going with this?
Could Gamescom be that bad? And what would they have to do to have it be that bad?
Show off 2.6.3.
There you go.
That's how bad it would have to be as bad as a holiday live stream.
I didn't
Can
see
I-
the
can I
holiday live
one up
stream,
that?
but if I had to guess, I would say if they only had recycled footage and a ship sale, that sounds like riot.
Shiver?
Try and have devs play on the live server.
I'm Nakara, go ahead.
It's a few really good options so far. Basically come out and say, there's some 2.6.3 gameplay. And here's a Star Marine tournament, and here's an Arena Commander tournament, and 3.0 is not going to be out till December, and Squadron's been delayed to 2027.
Oof. I'm actually kind of surprised that no
Pissed
one.
me off about the holiday live stream, right, was the fact that it was watch the holiday live stream and then watch these streamers playing the game. It's like, well, I this isn't, I haven't come here to watch streamers playing the game. That's not entertainment to me at this point. I was here for a holiday live stream like they had a couple of years back when I went to each studio. That was interesting. Just tell me about the year, even do that.
I just have to say that Nullrick, you posted the holiday live stream in chat. That is an offense akin to mentioning the fact that there was an Avatar movie.
But you just met. Oh no.
But you just mentioned the Avatar
Yes,
movie.
Yeah.
I know.
Now we're all thinking about it.
Yep.
Well, thanks. Yeah.
Hey, it is making me not think about the holiday live stream, so I'm happy.
I'm not.
You didn't see the holiday
You didn't see
live
the
stream.
holiday live stream, so you just.
I'm actually surprised that no one mentioned giving Chris the control.
I think Crash Roberts is reasonably entertaining. Like,
I like Crash Roberts.
yeah.
He's awesome.
I know, so do I.
not too
Okay,
bad, Yeah.
so let's
Watch again.
yeah.
And that is a game that is a moment that will live on in Star Citizen history forever.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Hey, look, the ships fly. Smash.
This is bullshit.
This is bullshit. Can't move. Can't shoot. This is okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember how exciting those streams were? That was really an exciting time.
He was, yeah.
You were
Hag.
just excited. You just watched him. You flipped the helmet, and you were like, "I fucking love this fucking helmet. He hasn't even got into fucking space yet, and this is the most amazing helmet in space." Leave that fast cart. Don't you dare. And then they just go off into space. You're like, "That's fucking cool." What? I missed that.
I don't know though. Like actually being at CitizenCon, like I don't know. I felt that same thing. It was still super exciting. I think I'm gonna feel that all over again. You know, watching Gamescom and all that. Like it's real exciting. Like watching Gamescom 2016. Like just.
That was a really good show, actually.
It was really good. Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Heads up for anyone wondering, we will be doing both a pre-stream and a post-stream of the Gamescom stream. And during the Gamescom stream, we will restream the Gamescom stream. So we're going to pre-stream, restream, then post-stream the Gamescom stream.
Well, that's
Stream.
good. I'm glad
sense.
we have the streams.
Yeah. So we'll do that here. Join us at this same channel, Gamescom Day, if you want to watch us talk about it and then just watch it without, 40,000 people in chat yelling about JPEGs.
Helmet.
We wish we had that many people yelling about JPEG.
Oh,
We're not that popular
No.
yet.
no, we're
But
not.
maybe one day.
No. I'm on the stream. We're never getting there. So we talked a bit about what they need to show at
Gonna prelude.
Gamescom.
Nothing.
What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
What?
It's nothing.
What?
Nothing.
What?
It's a reference. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Nolric.
What do they have to show at CitizenCon? Let's start with Nakara.
CitizenCon?
Yeah.
Squadron.
Yeah.
I don't even care if the whole entire damn thing is Squadron. That's got to
Squadron all
be
the way.
Squadron.
Morrow
Squadron?
2.0.
Does anyone disagree with Squadron?
Sounds reasonable.
Okay.
Squadron. I think that they
Roadmap.
should. I would also like to see, like, if they don't show them at Gamescom, I would like to see some of the other landing zones, because some of them should be almost done by then, or even done possibly.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Um,
I agree with Shiver. They
and-
should probably show us some more roadmap stuff. An updated one, maybe.
I don't
to
even
try
want to
and
see
be
the
slightly
roadmap
accurate.
anymore. It's always bullshit.
Yeah, they didn't follow the last one at all. Like,
I don't want any dates. I don't even want a year. I just want them to say, so this is where we've been, this is where we are, and this is where we're thinking of going at the moment. No, don't give me a fucking
It'll be
date.
exactly
Don't
the same
even
roadmap as
mention a
last
year.
year's.
Just like, this is where we're sort of planning it. I'd like that.
Yeah.
I think Chris should just come out and be like, we're still making it, okay? Just like lay off.
I think they should
Yeah.
come out.
I
think
respect that.
I think Chris should come out on stage and say like, okay, so you've just seen some Squadron stuff. With the Squadron that we've just shown you, going up live right now as a post over on robertspaceindustries.com is the Squadron 42 schedule.
That would be
Squad 42
lovely.
schedule, I'd be a little more interested in that than the Star Citizen schedule, for sure. Yeah.
So let's start with Mr. Llama. What if they don't show Squadron at CitizenCon?
I don't know. That would probably really offend the core community, right? Which is the people that go to CitizenCon. So,
It offended them last year.
Yeah. Not too much so, but it would be real bad
It
this
didn't
year.
offend them during the presentation. It wasn't until we got home and started
We were
thinking
like,
about it that was like, wait.
What did they actually show
What?
us? Yeah.
But
So, yeah, I don't know. Got to show something. I think that they'll show whatever they don't show at Gamescom. Whatever that ends up being is
I agree.
just crystal ball in it.
yeah.
So.
Okay. Anyone else? Shiver?
I don't think it would go very well for them, but if they showed something that's even more exciting, or were like, 3.0 is out, you're already playing that, 3.1 for Christmas guaranteed. Yeah, I think that's the only thing that might get people to stop talking about no Squadron, would be like, he's given us a date, he's given us a fucking date again.
Actually, just on go on a tangent. Just to go on a tangent real quick.
Do it.
After 3.0, do you think the later Point X releases are going to be more frequent?
Yes.
I'd love to believe that. I'm not sure, but I'd love to see 3.1 3 months after 3.0.
I have reason to believe that they will be faster. One, if Nakara mentioned it really early on, but if you look at some of the stuff that was supposed to come out in 3.0, some of that stuff's already done. Like they've been continuing, or 3.1,
beyond 3.0.
Yeah, beyond 3.0. Some of that stuff's already done.
Yeah.
They haven't stopped working on the stuff, right? And what they're trying to do in 3.0 is a major change to the code base. Like they're changing so much in the game, from procedural planets to items 2.0 to object containers to like everything they're adding is new and significant. I don't think that the additional features that they're going to add in 3.1, 3.2, etc., mining, salvage, stuff like that, I think those will use what they've built on 3.0. I don't think it's going to take them the same 6, 9, 12 months to release those patches.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that's important to know, and I haven't seen this brought up recently. I'm not sure how many people remember this, but when they first did the schedule for 3.0, they mentioned that the code base for 3.0 actually split off from 2.6.3 at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
The whole 2.6 the 2.6 dot whatever branch was separate. And even when they started the production schedule for started releasing the production schedule, they had a whole huge raft of things that were already done that they had been working on for months. This is an enormous change to the actual fundamental game. The other big thing is, and probably another massive factor for how the timeline for patches, is that they're rolling out the Delta Patcher with 3.0, which means that patching more often will be very easy for them going forward.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell your customers to download 31 gigabytes every time they patch.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know that affects development. That just means the client's download is easier. It doesn't mean them bringing code together is easier.
No. That's not what I meant. What I meant was that they don't have to go, we could release this feature, but we already asked all of our people, all of our customers to download 31 gigabytes this month. So we're not going to ask them to do it again. We'll wait and we'll roll it into a bigger patch, they could patch in smaller features easily from going forward, because they can just stick them into a new patch. And it's like a gigabyte or 500 megs or whatever.
Yeah. Ship just comes out, the ship pipeline, don't need to wait for the next major patch. You can just put that in with a few bug fixes. Maybe.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm talking about. A ship, even like a new game mechanic like mining, assuming it doesn't have a lot of dependencies, you could just put it in. The prospector is already going to be in the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mr. Llama, as someone who does code slightly, what do you take away from the whole talk of basically what I was saying of 3.0 being the major rework and stuff after it?
Well, I don't want to be confused as an expert developer. I don't want to fall into that stereotype. There's so many armchair blank people backers.
Yeah.
That are criticizing the project. But I guess the perspective I get from it is this whole Alpha 3.0 thing. I feel like it was always going to take this much time because, correct me if I'm wrong, it's always been a pretty distributed development process, right? They're making all these very separate modules, and it's really Alpha 3.0 where it's coming all together.
Yeah.
From a coding point of view, that's a fucking nightmare. Yeah. And that nightmare was always going to happen.
Yeah, just merging all that stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of
problems.
So
it doesn't surprise me at all that it's a year late. And when CIJ says they're polishing 3.0 now, I read that as 3.0 is fucking on fire right now.
Mm-hmm.
and we're trying to get it to not be a piece of shit. They're not polishing it right now.
Yeah, polish is a very special word that means a certain thing. It's not polish. What they're doing now, it's
Well,
just
no,
making the
what they're
thing
doing
work.
right now is trying to make it run.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess my only worry nested in that is like 3.0 also seems like kind of a core to the game that gets added on to. Kind of like what you're saying with the Delta Patcher. Like we can just start adding ships to it. We'll add features to it. It'll be a lot faster. I hope sincerely that is the case. If it's 3.0 comes out, but then again, everything has to branch off again into how many studios? 5 studios?
Well, they have the Derby studio now.
And then
so-
they're all doing separate stuff again. And then they all got to bring it together
And
all
turbulence.
over again. Oh man, I don't know. That's going to start to be a bog down.
Yeah, I hope 3. Yeah, because 2.0 was I mean that's kind of the thing. We initially thought that 2.0 was going to be the thing that brings all that stuff together.
Yeah.
That now it's kind of 3.0. I hope it's not going to be 4.0. Yeah, like that would
No, I
be
agree.
horrible.
Honestly,
That would be horrible.
That's my
Yeah.
developer perspective.
I really hope that there
well
is
taken,
no
yeah.
4.0. I hope that
That's beta 1.0.
I hope that it's beta.
I think they've said already that there's going to be an alpha 4.0. Maybe I could be making that up, but they've also been kind of changing what 3.0 is and 3.1, whatever. So yeah, I think that's reasonable. Is just if that is the case, then going back to what I said before, I think each 3.x release is actually going to be quite far apart because they will be quite substantial. But we will see. We will see.
It really depends, in my opinion, on what, like, if they still stick to where 3.0 is only in one star system. I don't think you can have 4.0 be the start of beta because there's a lot of things you can't test without having multiple star systems, especially things like communication and obviously jump points.
Yeah.
And also you're kind of stuck with one architectural style. You're stuck with one set of commodities because you're only in one system.
Probably won't have all the races.
Would be surprised if beta is at the end of 3.0 because it would be like that's not feature complete.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Yeah, because I mean, I think they pushed like Microtech back to like 3.3 or something like that.
Yeah,
like that one's way behind, and the other.
I think it's harder to build than the other ones because, especially graphically, because it's more distinct.
Yeah.
They can't reuse as many assets for that one.
Our corp also needs procedural cities, right?
Yeah. What then do you guys think might be significant enough of a code change for it to merit a 4.0?
Multiple systems.
Multiple systems, yeah.
Like
full jump points, like,
I don't know.
when they're at like the 10 system mark and they're like, all right, 4.0, 10 systems. Like this is the mini Star Citizen.
10 systems, holy crap. Can't even imagine that. But yeah, multiple systems. I don't know. I'm not sure that that's actually going to be a big deal.
Well, I'm sure the game will have grown a lot by then as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's the whole mechanics behind it because, manually flying through it, changing into the next system. And then you've got the communications that have to work through and over that large distance as well. How are they going to implement that if they wanted it to be done in such a way it was almost realistic with relays? You said the name of the show.
What?
But I don't know. It's the whole version numbering thing is just kind of like, I don't know. Whatever. I don't really care about that part too much. I think that they have like a base number of features they have to have in, and then they can proceed to beta. I think it's like the professions need to be more or less in. They need to have all of their tools done, their development tools, and I think at least 2 systems. Then you can go to beta.
Do you guys think that CIG are ever going to be finished making tools? Because
sorry, that was a bad way to put it. I don't think that they should be like making this core part of the game is really freaking hard, you know. Like they, you know, we got to see them try to make a star system in that happy hour, and it was good, and I enjoyed it and everything. But it was obvious that the star system editor is a really cool tool that is not very far along in development. Like it crashed a couple times, and you know it has issues. I think that's a big hindrance to doing things quickly. So I think if their tools mature and they are able to generate planets and systems quickly, then that will be a big. That's kind of what I mean. No, I don't think they'll ever be finished making tools. It's a bad wording on my part.
You don't know what they're going to bring into the game at some point later on down the line that they go, well, we can make a tool for that.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to some questions. We've got about 35, 40 minutes left. We're going to do question time. If you have questions, type ! question mark in the chat. That'll bring you to a Google form. You fill in the Google form, and then I get your question here, and I'll be able to read some of them, and other ones I'm just going to cry. So let's start with Shiselfist, who asks...
Go on.
Who asks, are we going to see more delays in 3.0?
Who are you asking?
I'm going to start with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Random choice.
Yeah, we're totally random.
Well, I mean, didn't they get rid of the primary release dates? Like in terms of saying, like, yeah, it's gonna be out here. Like they got rid of those. They're still showing schedules.
No.
They actually kept the primary ones and got rid of the rest of them.
Yeah.
They kept the
So when I
release
say
date.
a primary release date, I mean the game. It's out here. It's out.
They kept
on
that.
this date.
Yeah.
They kept
that one. They got
they
rid of
kept
the
that
PT
one and
release.
got rid of the other ones.
That
okay.
Reddit article was titled like bullshit.
So the live one is still there.
Mhm.
Yeah, the live is still. They got rid of the sending it to avocados and sending it to PTU.
Okay.
But this is when we want it live. That's still there.
Okay. Sorry for that tangent.
It's all good.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is kind of just jumping off my point about how at least I perceive what they're trying to do in bringing 3.0 together is much more complicated than they're admitting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna keep on getting delayed, I think. Again, I mean, the sooner it comes, the better. I would be not entirely surprised, and I'm ready for 3.0 not even dropping this year.
That would be pretty rough.
I'd say that's
pretty rough.
completely realistic.
It could happen. It's worse has happened before.
Were that to happen, I'm afraid I would have to start removing my bow tie again.
Oh my goodness. Please.
Yeah.
You'd be.
I would go
both.
that far.
That's pretty far.
Honestly, I'm kind of expecting 3.0 to be either go live or maybe PTU for CitizenCon. I'm kind of feeling that.
Oh, for CitizenCon, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking Gamescom, and
No,
I'm
no,
like,
no. They
live?
wouldn't push it forward.
Yeah.
No. That ship has sailed.
Yes, it sure has.
So, does anyone disagree with what Llama says?
We're gonna have to wait.
Well, I disagree that it's going to be the end of the year
Okay.
or next year.
Well, you were just saying. Yeah.
I don't think they would be pushing it back a week at a time if the actual answer was February. I think you're probably looking at I'm gonna go with Vince on this one and say late October for live release, unless things start to go much better in the bug fixing department.
I mean, let's be honest. They are now in bug fixing only, right?
Yeah.
They're no longer waiting on features. They've cut off the features for 3.0. There's stuff that's missing that we'd really like that's not going to be till 3.1, but that's life. But they have cut off the features. They're not adding more shit to it. And that honestly is always a really good sign of
That's what the burn down's all about.
yeah.
Whenever
And
that
hey,
number
well,
reaches 0, they can actually release it to
did
Ducati.
that end up coming out today yet?
No, of course not. We're waiting, like we always seem to on
Yeah.
Thursday these
Yeah.
days until like midnight.
Shout out
Someone should go
to
on Reddit and start a summoning thread.
Oh, it's
That
there's. You
Oh,
should
yeah.
go look at the one that's there. It's pretty hilarious. Everything's burning down apparently.
Oh, the
good.
one. Yeah, that's a good one. That's good. Yeah.
Yep.
a shout out, of course,
This is
to our transcribers over at Relay. I know that one of our transcribers, Sunjammer, has gone to bed because it's late in the UK and he can only help up to a certain point. So best of luck to I believe Nakara, and I believe Stormy will be working on this one as well. Yeah, best
I
of
really
luck,
hope
guys.
it's short again.
Yeah. Because that takes a lot of work. Again, cheers to all of our transcribers: Sunjammer, Desmarius, Canadian Syrup, Nakara, Stormy.
You.
Almost never. So, Fastcart asks, why is Commander Llama's name shortened to Commander instead of Llama? Won't that be confusing calling people by their ranks? I don't know. I've just been calling him whatever I feel like Llama or Commander or Mr. Commander.
Or Mr. Llama.
Yeah. Basically, I'm a horrible person, and yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Fastcart also asks, who's watching the solar eclipse on Monday?
We're not really getting it.
We don't really get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we
I'm
get,
out of the
like-
totality.
I'll be too far
So-
north, I think.
Oh yeah, you will. I think we get like a 20-30% eclipse or something,
Yeah.
but like nowhere even near a decent eclipse. We'd have to go down to like Boston or someone, and I mean, who wants to live in Boston or even visit Boston? Actually,
Sam.
want to
I actually really liked.
I want to visit
Boston was
Boston.
really good.
Yeah, Boston
I
was
like
good.
Boston a lot. Boston's cool.
So I love people.
I don't.
Do you?
Okay, you don't have to say who said it.
Okay, I'm skipping the name of the person who said this because,
Skipping by it.
yep, skipping by it. Does the power of Christ Roberts compel you to spend more money on Star Citizen? I'm going to ask.
That's actually a good, surprising good question. That's
it's a good
that's
question.
worth talking about.
It
Thank
is.
you.
It is, and I'm going to start by asking Commander Llama.
Sure. So I'm a Kickstarter backer, and I haven't.
I believe you backed on the same day as I.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, everyone backed on the same day practically. Like,
Yeah.
Once the
Once it
news
hit,
hit
it was
that
just like,
town.
Bam. All of us.
Anyway, I've got my Aurora, and I've got a small fraction of a share in a Connie, which I kind of regret a little, but can't undo it. And I haven't backed or pledged anything since, and I don't plan on it.
Hashtag Connie regret.
Connie regret. Connie 2012.
So, well, I
Success?
guess I'm at like what, $60 or so.
Probably, yeah.
Um,
Since you've got such a
I
small
have,
fraction
I
of
have
Connie.
zero compulsion for pledging anything else. Like, they have enough. Make the game.
You're gonna get one hell of a good deal on the game if it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Success?
Yeah. I have a fair number of ships. I think the quality of all the new concepts that have come out, like in the last, what was the last ship I bought? Like a year? Yeah, last one I bought was Polaris. I've done some melting and rebuying since, but that was like 9 months ago. I don't feel too compelled to spend more money on the game. I'm considering renewing my starting my subscription up again.
Right.
Because I did actually, I canceled it after the holiday live stream. It was
Yes.
that bad.
It was that bad.
It was horrible,
It was that
horrible.
I gotta watch this when I get home.
No, you don't.
No, it's worth
Do
it.
not
It's
watch
it's
it.
history.
It's
This is a
oh.
piece
Will
of
hurt
Star
you.
Citizen history.
It does
I
have some good moments.
I'm pretty happy with what they've done with Around the Verse and all that. So I don't feel bad about supporting their marketing budget. So that's something I'm considering. But as far as ships, I'm good.
Shiver?
I'm good.
I don't know. I don't think I've bought anything at all this year. And if something comes along and I'm like, yeah, I could make use of that in the verse and it's within my budget and I'm not going to break the bank or be insane with my money, I'll buy it. Because I'm an adult. If I want to go into a restaurant and order my pudding first, I can.
I like that. Nakara?
I've been mostly I strangely enough, I don't have a lot of ships. My main support of Star Citizen has almost for a long time has just been my subscription. I haven't actually I think I've had a subscription for like 3 years straight. But my total spend on my account is still pretty high because I also bought the game for a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, am I compelled to spend more money on other ships? I could see the potential because I haven't bought a ship in so long. It's very possible, especially if they put something out that really speaks to me. I almost want to buy the Cyclone when it's available again. I think it's really cool.
It's pretty cool.
It's like the Warthog.
Yeah.
And the Canadian dollar is slowly getting back to not worthless. So that helps.
Thank you, American
does help.
economy.
Yeah.
So is that them tanking or us getting better?
It's them tanking.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Everyone's just getting
Actually,
miserable. Yeah.
most of the increase was the increase in interest rates in Canada.
That
So-
did help. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of money on Star Citizen. I will be honest.
Not just on ships.
Not just on ships. I have spent a veritable fuck ton on websites, more than I care to talk about. But thanks to everyone that supports us on Patreon, which I can't thank them enough for supporting us.
They're amazing people.
They are awesome people. I no longer have to pay all of the hosting costs every month, which I was doing for quite a long time with the previous site that we had. And I've got all the ships that I want. I actually want to get rid of some of my ships. I've melted a few ships and moved them into new ships, but I have no need to put new money into Star Citizen.
Oh, the other thing I bought quite a bit of, I do quite like a lot of their merchandise. So I have bought.
They
a
have
fair
some good
amount of
merch,
merchandise.
So
I
Nakara,
just discovered I've actually passed the double concierge mark.
nice.
Nice.
Oh.
Nakara, Headclot asks a question that I'm going to basically give to you. There was an article on Gamma Sutra. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think it's accurate or not?
Oh, the funding thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's BS. I actually, well, I should say BS. I think that they come up with the conclusion. Well, first of all, it's a blog entry. Secondly, they come up with a conclusion without really taking into account many of the facts that we already know, which seems a little goofy. What I wrote in our Discord chat was the biggest problems with it are that it doesn't take into account real financial data we have from Foundry. It doesn't take into account the way businesses actually operate. What I talked about a little bit about before, where you can actually take money out of the bank like a loan and use it to do whatever you feel like.
To be clear, Fastcard asks a good question. What's the article about? The article basically is some guy who has no experience in game development or anything, saying that Star Citizen can't be complete with its budget because GTA 5 cost more.
Basically, what it's not quite. They
What a
basically say they
clickbait
need more
article
money.
title.
They can't
Jesus.
stop making money. They just say that they need to keep making money, and then they throw out a bunch of financial figures. But I'm like, you didn't actually look at the financial data we have, though. And they don't take into account the fact that businesses can borrow money at all. Like, that's just completely ignored. It also doesn't take into account the fact that Squadron is releasing at some point before Star Citizen releases, which should give a huge influx of money. So I don't know. I kind of basically looked at it and went,
If it's
well,
good.
you didn't really
If it's
take
good,
the
yeah.
situation into very good. I don't know. It didn't really account for the actual situation that Star Citizen is in very well.
Actually, I kind of have a comment on that.
Go ahead.
Even if Star Citizen, I don't, just honestly a random thought, but even if Squadron 42 was kick ass, they must be like, how close are they to market saturation at this point? Like, are there really like 50 million people sitting there being like, I want a spaceship game?
No, but
Oh,
there might
50,
be
50 million? Absolutely not. But it's
2
not
to
a spaceship
5?
game really either. It's a really good single player like FPS / spaceship game.
I guess if
And
they like
the-
Infinite Warfare.
I love the fact that CIG Sherman mentioned something that I brought up as well when we were talking about it. Contrasting Star Citizen GTA 5, not as valid for the voiceover and music costs GTA 5 gets to enjoy. But on the other hand, no MMO ever stops needing to generate revenue.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I mean, that might be a more valid question of CIG have always said there's not going to be a subscription fee for Star Citizen. How will it generate revenue post-release? Will people buy UEC in enough numbers to keep the servers running, or will they have to focus on Squadron 42 releases? And is there a big enough market for Squadron 42 releases to keep the servers running for Star? That might be a more valid
Guild
question.
Wars and Guild Wars 2 do it.
Yeah, I know. It might be a more valid question. Anyway.
It's more of something that actually should be examined. I think this is just kind of goofy, this article.
Yeah.
But I wanted to actually address Commander Llama's point there. A lot of people who have backed Star Citizen at this point did not back for Squadron. I think a really good narrative single player game with the actors they have, with the gameplay experience they hopefully will have, with the FPS and the space stuff mixed together. I think if that goes like wide, it would attract a much larger audience than they currently have.
You know what might be an interesting
50
stat?
50 million, I think, is out of the question. But
I just made a number up.
Yeah.
like my personal thought has always been, if they can sell 1 million copies, they're doing amazing, because they just put another $45 million in the bank.
And they don't have a publisher, so they're not paying all the fees to a publisher. That's direct profit to them. My one question there was, shit, what was it? Fuck.
Was that the question?
No. It's gone.
Okay.
It was a really good one too.
I'm sure it was.
It'll come back around.
Anyway, Rudy Poop asks about if we're gonna get more frequent updates because of the Delta Patcher. We went through that. Not ESPN asks, which network does 6Fs do live sports commentary for? Asking for a friend.
What? Is that a compliment?
Apparently, you now need to be a sports announcer.
Apparently, yeah.
You've got a good voice.
Okay, thanks. ESPN.
Unfortunately, you don't like sports, which is a problem. But
I can like sports, but I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody frame it quite like that.
On the official Star Citizen Twitter, they're teasing a prepare for launch with a T- that ends at Gamescom. Are they hinting of 3.0 launching at Gamescom? Curious to your thoughts. This comes from Headclot. Let's start with Nakara, then Shiver Commander 6Fs, while I try and remember what the other thing I was going to say was.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Maybe I've just not got much imagination, but is that not just a countdown to Gamescom?
That's what I thought.
Absolutely.
Okay, I thought I was having a moment there.
No.
Thank you.
We're on the same page.
That's exactly where I'm at. Yep.
Mr. Commander, Mr. Llama.
Well, I think you already heard my thoughts on when I think Alpha 3.0 could come out. So, no, I don't think it's coming out in 8 days.
No. Yeah, they're just trying to build hype.
Here's the thing. Right. I talked about it totally might not come out this year. Please, I would love to be wrong. But I still think it's possible it won't.
We have some breaking news about the Gamescom presentation. Apparently, there will be spaceships.
Holy shit.
This is hot news off the press from Disco Lando himself 7 minutes ago.
Wow.
That's probably what's launching then.
Spaceships.
So does that mean no land vehicles? Can confirm no land vehicles whatsoever at Gamescom.
Oh man.
That is confirmed by Disco Lando. Timestamp 7 minutes ago. No land vehicles. You heard it here first, folks.
He's gonna be so
Confirmed.
pissed at you.
But
Nobody
there
tell
will be
Lando that I
fish.
said this because he will literally
Oh,
chokeslam
he'll
me.
light you up.
Again.
for
There
that
will
one.
be
Again.
fish though, because he didn't not say it. Therefore, there will be fish.
True.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah,
how it works,
fish.
right?
Confirmed.
Huh?
I
Confirmed
honestly
fish.
cannot remember the question I was going to ask that was
Oh
really
my-
important, and it's just friggin' gone, and
Oh
I
my
hate myself. But someone else that I missed earlier asks, I'm looking forward to playing a ship's doctor or combat medic. Have the devs gone into detail on how the medical system will work? Nothing has been talked about that since the Death of a Spaceman design
I wouldn't
document.
say that.
No, not
that was
quite.
very, very long time
That was
ago.
very long
Well,
ago.
I mean, that's the most in depth that we've really got.
Well, we know how like limb damage and stuff are gonna work, right?
You can
um,
drag
Kinda.
people in first person.
we've gotten more information since then. However, I think some of the best information we've got recently has actually come pretty. It was like last week, and it's just a hint more than anything. But the fact that like your heart rate affects how quickly you use oxygen,
True.
Yeah.
lends it to believe that the actual like health system is pretty robust. But in terms of details, absolutely not. We know what they talked about a couple of years ago. We know little bits and pieces here and there, but they have not really talked about it in depth at all. Definitely something that's coming. I mean, they have hospital ships, so kind of would have to be, and ambulances. So yeah, but no, I don't think we have a lot of good information to share with you, unfortunately.
So, as it comes to medical issues, would you say there's a big red cross of information?
Oh God.
Why did someone
I
just
wouldn't-
ring
no,
my
I wouldn't say
doorbell?
that.
Someone
at
just
all.
ring your doorbell. We're
Should-
getting robbed.
Should I get
Pizza.
should I get
Should
the
probably
door?
go get the door.
I'll get the door.
You should submit that question on the question form.
8:45. Let's we might be shot live on TV, everyone. This
I'm
is
going
live
down
on
fighting.
Is someone swatting you guys?
It's possible. We're just gonna wait and see if I hear any gunshots.
It's a mystery pizza.
Hey, a robbery live would be really good marketing.
It would. People would probably clip that and like come watch us
Oh, yeah.
once and then see what we're talking about and leave forever.
Probably.
in the way of the trailer.
Oh,
Oh,
didn't know I needed that trailer.
yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed either.
It is Thursday. Okay, so you'll be right back.
I'm back.
So we are.
I have two microphones.
I can confirm we are not currently getting robbed.
Nope.
But we
Aw.
will continue on with questions.
We're being robbed of a host.
yes, but
He'll be back.
he'll be back. So Mr. Worldwide asks, do you think that CIG will ever tell us what the sand people say?
Yes, and in greater numbers.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, they're putting a lot of focus into the language and all that stuff. So, yeah, yeah.
Gotta send a big shout out to James Davidson, who just pledged a couple bucks on Patreon. Thank you very much.
wow, goodness.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I do want to take 1 second here to basically say the devs at CIG have for a long, long time been pretty bloody fantastic about, telling us what's going on in the game and giving us all kinds of tidbits and info and showing up in chats, be it on forums or Reddit or Spectrum or Twitch or wherever, even on Twitter sometimes, and giving us information and telling us a lot about the game that honestly we wouldn't know without it. And yeah, don't abuse
All
that.
that and working 26 hours a
Yes,
day.
and
8
working
days
26
a week
hours a
on
day.
the game.
Let's not ever abuse the fact that they tell us what's going on, because it's one of the things that makes following Star Citizen and following CIG pretty much the best.
It's a big part of what makes the project special, right? They're making a very honest attempt at having open development and all that stuff, and it's very challenging for them to do that. I mean, there is a reason why almost every AAA game developer opts to keep everything hush hush, because
one of my favorite moments early on in the Kickstarter, one that actually really for me kind of cemented that this was a game that I really wanted to follow and care about, was when Commander Llama there asked a question on the Kickstarter and Chris answered and responded to your, like, Chris answered his question, responding to his question, saying, here's how we want.
You should actually be able to go check that.
You probably should.
Because I think my Kickstarter username is Commander Llama.
Yeah, probably. But, like, yeah. So
that was cool.
Yeah. Thank you to CIG.
yeah, I mean, really that kind of interaction is why we're doing what we're doing, right?
There wouldn't be a relay if there wasn't stuff for us to talk about. Now, mind you, we make up a lot of bullshit to talk about anyway.
A little bit,
yeah.
but we work with what they give us.
Apparently, we have reached the 1,000 Twitch followers.
All me.
1,000.
Wow. Well done us.
Okay.
Sweet.
It's a half wave. It's a half
Okay,
wave.
halfway. Okay, thank you.
For those of you that don't know, there's also a contest, going on over on Twitter, where we're, trying to get 1,000 followers over on Twitter as well. You can follow us over there at twitter.com/relay_SC. Whatever. Fastcart asks, knowing what you know now, do you think CIG should have put out a 2.7 patch?
With what in it?
Yeah.
Like, what would they put?
Something.
What's in between 2.6.3 and 3.0? There's so much being changed, and it's all connected. What?
It would have
Oh,
been
Celebrating for
almost
the 1,000. Yeah.
Carry on.
2.7. If they worked on 2.7, it would have pushed 3.0 further back. So, no, it's unfortunate that we've had so much time between 2.x and 3.0, but it's kind
just
of
a
necessary.
massive change to the code base. I don't think there's any other way to do it.
No, yeah.
Okay, so
It
Carbide
doesn't really matter anyway, does it? It's not like we can turn back time and go, can we have a 2.7 patch? It's not like it's even our decision.
Right.
To be honest, is it? It's not our decision.
You know what? I'm going to take another moment, because I take a lot of moments. I thank our transcribers pretty often, because the work that they do is absolutely fantastic. But I don't often enough take a chance to thank Fastcart for everything he does. He's here pretty much all the time. He clips all our stuff. He's the first person to post articles, especially when I'm busy doing other stuff, and he's posting our stuff for us. Thank you, Fastcart.
Fastcart is the man.
Yeah.
The absolute best.
100%.
Thank you very much.
I just met you, but you seem all right.
Fastcart's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty dang
So
good.
He's 3/5 above the average person.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Shiver's allowed to say that, apparently.
Apparently, wow.
Carbide Edge says, or asks, knowing that after 3.0 the next big addition is jump points, I'm sure they've planned out how to implement them within the code that they're making. Any insights or thoughts on how the mechanic itself could or should work from a coding standpoint? Commander?
From a coding standpoint?
How
Nope.
it should work from a coding standpoint.
Mr. Llama.
Okay, well,
Wow us.
without a jump point, you can't travel between star systems, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not
Wait,
possible.
yes, you can.
You can.
Actually, yeah, you can, but
You could just
would take-
quantum
it would
between
take
two
infinite
stars.
time.
Like,
Theoretically, eventually, yes.
Quantum. I thought they were gonna it was gonna be a hard split between systems.
I honestly don't know if we know, to be honest.
Like they could
They've
just.
said both things at various points in the past. We're not sure where they're at right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
so maybe they don't know. I'd say,
Maybe.
I mean, the only thing I can glean from that is if you can't travel between systems without a jump point, then the only thing that really tells me is that different systems are definitely probably different servers if they're doing a distributed server architecture.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
I would
the server
imagine so.
architecture is very different and
I
complicated.
will
but
just
Very, very different.
summarize this by saying we just don't know enough to know.
I'd say that.
Much.
But I think there's like a hard split between one system and another. Whereas
Yeah.
within a system, they split
Wide
it
open.
up. Yeah, well, they
completely wide open,
dynamically
yeah.
split it up between
Right.
servers and instances. But systems are hard cut off, so it has to be through a jump point. Maybe that's what I'm speculating. Next.
So Tom Trustworthy asks, when do you expect they'll stop selling ships for real money? What date or what version? As far as we know, all we've been told is that they'll stop at launch.
I thought the plan was they were always going to sell a ship. Like,
No.
if you want to buy Star Citizen, you buy an Aurora when you buy Star Citizen.
Okay,
and
yeah,
they were
fine.
contemplating, like, buying the equivalent of the next step up deluxe package with a 325A and then the super deluxe combat package for, like, whatever amount with a Hornet. I always thought that was the plan.
Maybe. I remember them saying that they're going to switch to only selling, like maybe they will have packages like that, but I think I remember them saying they were going to switch to selling UEC only.
Yep.
And then ships will be like
You'd buy your Aurora game package. There will be a few ships that would have a game package with them. Aurora, Reliant, Mustang, maybe one of the 300 series, but I honestly doubt it.
probably not. No.
And anything else, you'd be able to buy a certain amount of UEC per day, and that would be
Yes.
capped. And that's all we know. But we hadn't heard about that in like
Years.
years.
I'd say it depends
Literally.
on their financial situation at launch.
I hope
Honestly,
I hope they don't wind up making compromising decisions because of their financial situation, but
I mean, at launch
see.
they'll get rid of ship sales and replace it with. That's when they'll launch the loot boxes. Most likely.
Oh boy.
Get your UE crate keys here.
Well, let's say I
please
don't give a crap as long as the game's
CIG. This is
good.
no matter like whatever it is that you have to do. Can just please do not sell loot boxes or keys to loot. Just don't have loot boxes, please.
I think I might actually pledge to not have loot boxes.
I
again.
would. Yeah, I'd
That
probably-
might be the
I'd probably
only
pay extra.
reason. That's the might be
Yeah.
the only reason I would pledge more money.
Yeah, if there was a new Kickstarter goal added, you know, the
No
next-
loot box.
They
loot
launched a
boxes.
whole new Kickstarter.
Like,
just
we gotta kill it.
kill it with fire right now.
$25 million.
stretch goals are all just give us money to not put this horrible feature in.
Okay, so who let the dogs out? Who?
We have the best names.
Could you
this
just say
time.
that one
Wow.
again, please?
Thank
Eris?
you, everyone who's asked questions. By the way,
You're the greatest.
Who
Second
let
to
the
best
dogs
card.
out? Who asks if you're stranded on a desert planet, what ground vehicle would you have from real life or in SC, and who would you run over to have it? Everyone has 5 seconds to answer, starting with Shiver.
Flying DeLorean from Back to the Future 2 and anyone who got in my way, but wherever we're going, we don't need roads.
6 steps and caps.
I'll take an Ursa Rover.
Nakara.
Ursa Rover and Dolvac.
Commander Llama.
Can I choose one of those AT-ATs from Star Wars?
Yes.
All right, I'm getting one of those.
Nice.
Who are you running over?
Yeah, I forgot there was a second part of the
Oh
question.
yeah.
Dolvac.
Who's everyone? Dolvac.
Anyone in one of those things?
If you knew Dolvac, you'd say Dolvac.
Dolvac.
Okay.
I think. Shiver. Are we unanimous on Dolvac?
Well, I like Dolvac.
So do we.
We all love
We
Dolvac.
all love Dolvac.
But we run him the
We
fuck
still
over.
run Dolvac over.
All right then, fuck it.
There we go. Headclot asks, will CIG bring back the Jump Point magazine books?
I think.
I think so.
They are still
Hopefully.
doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they did a volume
I'd,
one.
li-
and
I'd
two.
like them to bring back volume 1 so I can pick it up, and
Yeah.
then volume 3 so I can pick it up so I
Actually,
can have
Yeah,
it.
you
is
have
that
volume
what
two.
you
I
mean?
should
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about two.
I do
Yeah,
think
yeah.
they'll come back later on, probably.
Yeah.
I think so.
So Jigglypuff asks, oh, give me a second here. Was the vertical slice that was supposed to be shown last year a lie? I can't imagine something being so close and never being shown. If it's shown at this year's Gamescom, then it was never close, right?
I'm not sure.
Go
maybe.
watch the Road to Star Citizen. It sounded very much like it was close, but the AI did not meet Chris's standards. Yeah, it just didn't meet Chris's standards for what he wanted to show. He didn't want to show something that wasn't representative of the final product that they are trying to shoot for. I don't know if that's when they started to do AI in-house with Subsumption.
Subsumption was before then. They started Subsumption before then.
They started
but
before
it
then,
wasn't
but
very far along.
like after that, they moved everything in-house. They no longer worked with Moon Collider.
Moon Collider, yeah.
Yeah. So
And they did the procedural stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
that found a solution faster than they thought, and they were like, "Well, let's make that a part of it."
yeah,
Maybe that influenced
and
the
that
demo.
I mean,
maybe.
that did change what they'd have to show for Squadron 42 because procedurals. Though we don't know.
I think the game. I think they could have.
I mean, vertical slices by their nature can probably be a pretty rickety ship too. Just because they got
Yes.
it to work in that presentation doesn't mean it was functional
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
playable.
What they were basically saying is that they would have had to hack it together. Like they could have made it work, but they would have had to do development just to make it work,
Mhm.
and it would have been completely useless for anything else other than
It
just
wouldn't have
showing
been
it.
a true representative of
No.
Squadron 42, would it?
No. The interesting thing is we didn't hear word one about the vertical slice again after CitizenCon until about a month ago, when they brought it up again and said that it is still a thing, and they still have it, and they still want to show it, but they don't know when.
Oh, I missed that.
So-
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
we don't know the status of it at all. Basically, is the long and
No,
short.
it was just who was it was brought up. I think it was Aaron Roberts in an interview talked about it.
He's a.
I can't remember. It was recently
Yes.
though.
Okay, so I have to run to hockey literally right now.
Better
Bye.
get your skates on then.
Yeah, well, I can't drive with my skates on, unfortunately, or it would be a lot faster for me to get there. My skates are actually rusted as shit. It's going to be a problem. I don't even know if I'll be able to skate tonight, but whatever. I'm a goalie. I don't need to skate. We have one last question before we go. But before we get to that one last question, very quickly, what has everyone got going on this week, Nakara?
Stuff.
Shiver,
I have to reinstall Windows again.
Ha!
you poor bastard. Commander Llama,
I'm going on vacation.
congratulations.
Pretty good.
Mr.
Nice.
6Fs.
I'm gonna be editing Relay Replay on Saturday/Sunday, and that's about it. I'm gonna take it easy.
Sounds good. Thank you to everyone who showed up today, who asked a question, who followed us, who subscribed, who who whatevered. Before we log out, we do have this one last question from Headclot. I want a one-word answer from everyone.
It's actually a new question, but
We're not getting to that
also
one.
from Headcloth.
Also,
wow.
yeah, we're not getting to that. One word answer from everyone, starting with Mr. 6Fs. Is Star Citizen pay to win, or does the individual's pilot's flight skill balance that out? One word. One word.
Maybe.
Llama. And it can't be the same word.
Yes.
Shiver.
Marshmallow.
Nakara.
Negatory.
And I, ladies and gentlemen, say alfalfa. So alfalfa to you all. We'll see you on Saturday. Join us there.
Alfalfa.
Alfalfa. And I don't actually know how we're going to go out because the computer's over there.
Yeah, I have to make an
Yeah,
awkward
you gotta
reach
get up.
over. And
You gotta like
Bye,
stand
everybody.
and walk,
Walk,
and everyone
yeah,
has to
block the
watch
camera,
you,
yeah.
And we say
yeah.
goodbye.